Hey coin collectors, welcome back to the channel where we explore the world of rare and valuable coins. Today we're diving into some surprising finds of 2 Eurocents coins. You may have some of these hiding in your pocket change, but did you know a few of these coins could be worth more than you think? Let's take a look at the top 4 most valuable 2 Eurocents coins and learn about their unique histories. 2002 Eurocent. Before we get into the value of the 2002 Eurocent, let's start with some history. The euro was introduced in 1999 as the official currency of the Eurozone, which currently includes 20 of the European Union's 27 member countries. However, the physical euro coins and banknotes only started circulating in 2002. So the year 2002 holds a special significance because it marks the first year these coins were put into the hands of the public. Eurocent coins come in 8 denominations: 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, and 50 cents, as well as 1 and 2 euros. Each country in the Eurozone mints its own coins, but they can be used across all countries that accept the euro. Now let's take a closer look at the design of the 1 Eurocent coin from 2002. The coin is made of copper-plated steel, giving it its distinctive reddish colored dot on the reverse side. Common to all 1 Eurocent coins, regardless of the country, you'll find a map of Europe. The design was created by Luc Lucic, a Belgian artist, and it shows the European Union, which was expanding at the time. The 12 stars surrounding the map represent unity among European nations. The obverse side is where things get interesting. Each Eurozone country has its own design for the national side of the coin. In 2002, these national designs varied greatly, featuring everything from historical figures to symbols of the country's culture. For example, Germany's Eurocent coins feature an oak twig, while France's show Marianne, a symbol of liberty. Spain's coins in 2002 depicted King Juan Carlos I. Depending on which country your coin comes from, the design will be different, but they are all legal tender across the Eurozone. So how rare are these coins? Well, since 2002 was the first year the euro was circulated, mintage numbers were incredibly high. Billions of 1-cent coins were produced across the Eurozone to meet the demand of the new currency. For instance, Germany minted over 1 billion 1-cent coins in 2002 alone. France also produced a significant number of these coins. However, some smaller Eurozone countries like Luxembourg or Finland had much lower mintage figures, making their 2002 coins slightly more sought after by collectors. Now, let's talk about value. Since 1-cent coins were minted in such large quantities, their face value is still 1 cent in most cases. However, depending on the country and the condition of the coin, it could be worth a little more to collectors. 2014 2 Eurocent. Before we get into the details, let's take a quick look at what Eurocent coins are. These coins are part of the euro currency system used across 20 European Union countries. The euro itself was introduced in 1999, and the physical coins and banknotes entered circulation in 2002. Coins are issued in 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, and 50 cent denominations, with the 2-cent coin being a little guy, but still important. Now let's zoom in on the 2014 2 Eurocent coin itself. Like other euro coins, the design is a collaboration between the European Union and each individual country. On one side, you'll see the common European map design showing a part of Europe next to Africa and Asia. This design has been used since 2007, and it represents the idea of European unity. The other side of the coin, called the national side, will feature a unique design based on the country that issued the coin. For example, a German 2 Eurocent coin will have a different symbol than one from Spain or Italy. The 2014 2 Eurocent coin is small but mighty. It weighs 3.06 grams, has a diameter of 18.75 mm, and is made from copper-covered steel. Its smooth edge makes it distinct compared to some of the larger euro coins with ridged edges. This copper finish gives it that bright reddish-brown color when new, though, as we know, they tend to darken with time as they circulate. So, how many 2014 2 Eurocent coins were minted? Well, this depends on the country that issued them. Each Eurozone country has its own mints, and the mintage numbers can vary greatly. Some countries minted millions of them, while others only a few thousand. Coins from countries with lower mintage numbers could be a bit harder to find, especially in good condition. For example, Germany and Italy tend to have higher mintage numbers, so their coins are more common. But if you have a coin from a smaller Eurozone country like Malta, it might be worth more to collectors. Now let's talk about the condition of your 2014 2 Eurocent coin. Like any other coin, its value can vary depending on its condition. Coins are graded from poor to uncirculated, with the latter being the most valuable. An uncirculated coin, or one that hasn't been used in daily transactions, can retain its bright coppery color and sharp details. If your coin has scratches, dings, or has lost its shine, its value could be much lower. So if you're looking to collect these, try to get them in the best condition possible. Alright, here's what you've been waiting for. What's the value of a 2014 2 Eurocent coin? For most of us, it's worth ... well, 2 cents. But for collectors, the value can go up depending on the factors we talked about: country of origin, mintage numbers, and condition. 2011 2 euro cent. The 2 euro cent coin was introduced in 2002 along with other euro coins as part of the Eurozone's switch to a common currency. These coins are made from copper-plated steel, giving them their distinctive reddish color. They feature a map of Europe on the reverse side, symbolizing unity within the European Union. The design on the reverse side of the 2 euro cent has evolved slightly over time, but it's still instantly recognizable across all euro-using countries. So, what exactly is a clipped coin? A clipped coin occurs when there's a manufacturing error during the minting process. Part of the coin gets clipped off, resulting in a missing portion of the edge. Clips happen when the metal sheet used to make coins gets misaligned during the cutting process. Instead of a perfect circle, you end up with a coin that has a small missing part. It's rare but not unheard of, and that's what makes these coins valuable to collectors. The 2011 clipped 2 euro cent coin is one such error. While most of these coins are minted perfectly every now and then, an error like this slips through quality control. The clipped edge adds rarity to this otherwise common coin. In 2011, millions of 2 euro cent coins were produced across several countries. However, only a handful have been found with this clipping error. But does that make it valuable? Let's talk about the coin's value. When it comes to error coins, the value is determined by factors like the type of error, the coin's condition, and its rarity. For the 2011 clipped 2 euro cent coin, prices can range anywhere from EUR10 to EUR10 to EUR50 depending on its condition. Coins in mint state with a clear, well-defined clip are the most valuable. However, keep in mind that the demand for clipped coins can fluctuate based on collector interest. You may also find these coins listed on auction sites like eBay with prices sometimes even higher depending on the market. So if you find a clipped 2 euro cent coin, should you hold on to it or sell it? Well, that depends on your collecting goals. If you enjoy error coins and want to build a collection, definitely keep it. But if you're looking to cash in, selling it to a collector or at an auction might be a good move. 2013 2 cent euro cent. Now, let's talk about the 2013 edition specifically. This coin, like other euro cents, features the same design across all countries, but the reverse side can change depending on where it's minted. On the reverse, you'll see a globe with the EU 27 countries highlighted. The front side can differ based on the country of origin. For example, the German 2013 2 euro cent shows the Brandenburg Gate, while the Italian version features the Mole Antonelliana. This makes these coins not only useful but also collectible. The 2 euro cent coin is made from copper-plated steel, giving it that familiar reddish hue. It weighs just 3.06 grams and has a diameter of 18.75 millimeters. That rim you feel, it's smooth and designed to help the visually impaired differentiate between denominations. The 2 euro cent coin is the smallest euro coin with a smooth edge, which makes it distinct from the 1 and 5 cent coins that have different textures. One cool aspect of these coins is their mint marks, depending on where your coin was minted. You may find small letters or symbols that signify the mint location. For example, coins minted in France have an F mint mark, while those from Spain feature an M with a crown. The 2013 mintage was quite high across most Eurozone countries, but certain mints produce fewer coins, making some of them more sought after by collectors. Now let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. What is the value of a 2013 2 euro cent coin? In general, circulated 2 euro cent coins from 2013 don't have much added value. You'll likely see them go for their face value of, well, 2 euro cents. But certain coins can fetch more if they are in uncirculated or proof condition or have specific minting errors. Depending on rarity and condition, a collector might be willing to pay anywhere from EUR1 to EUR5 for a pristine example. Keep an eye out for error coins like double strikes or misaligned features. These could be worth significantly more. Let's take a quick look at the historical context. The euro as a currency was officially launched in 1999, but it wasn't until 2002 that the first euro coins and banknotes were circulated. The idea was to create a unified currency for a stronger European economy. By 2013, the euro was widely accepted across Europe, but the continent was still recovering from the financial crisis of 2008. Despite this, euro coins remained stable, helping people and businesses to transact smoothly across borders. 1916 UK 1 penny. The 1916 UK 1 penny was minted during the reign of King George V. It's one of those classic large copper coins that collectors love. This coin has a rich history as it was struck in the midst of World War I, a time of great change in Britain and across the world. On the obverse side of the 1916 penny, you'll find the bust of King George V facing to the left. The inscription around the edge reads Georgievs v Diagre Brit om Rex fi def and imp, which translates to George V, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. On the reverse, we have Britannia, the iconic female personification of Britain, seated and holding a trident in one hand and a shield in the other. The words 1 penny are written above her, and the year 1916 is below. This design was first introduced in 1860 and remained largely unchanged for decades. Now let's talk about the coin's material. The 1916 penny was made of bronze, a blend of 95% copper, 4% tin, and 1% zinc. It weighs about 9.45 grams and has a diameter of 30.8 millimeters, making it one of the larger British coins of the time. Minting took place at the Royal Mint, which was responsible for producing almost all the pennies during King George V's reign. However, the coins were also minted in other British territories like India, but the 1916 penny we're talking about is from the UK. 1916 was a turbulent time. The world was in the middle of the First World War, and the economy was strained. During this period, the production of coins remained steady, but many copper pennies from the era were heavily circulated, leading to wear and tear. Because of this, finding a 1916 penny in mint condition is pretty rare today. Most of these coins were used for daily transactions and have a lot of wear, which impacts their value. 1946 UK 1 penny. The 1946 UK 1 penny is a coin with an intriguing backstory, minted during a time of change. King George VI was on the throne, a monarch who had led Britain through the turmoil of World War II. By 1946, the war had just ended and the country was rebuilding. Coinage during this period reflected the resilience and tradition of the British Empire. George VI ascended to the throne in 1936 following the abdication of his brother Edward VIII. His reign saw the tumult of WWII and the gradual shift from empire to commonwealth. This penny, struck in 1946, symbolizes the end of one era and the beginning of a new one. Let's take a closer look at the design of this coin. On the obverse, you'll see a profile of King George VI facing left, designed by Thomas Humphrey Paget. Around his image, you'll find the Latin inscription Georgievs Vidgbr Omen, which translates to George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. Now on the reverse, we have the iconic image of Britannia, the traditional personification of Britain, seated and holding a trident in one hand while a shield featuring the Union flag rests at her side. This design had been used on the penny since 1860 and reflects the naval strength and imperial power of Britain during the 19th and early 20th centuries. The 1946 penny is made of bronze, as was typical for pennies during this time. It weighs 9.4 grams with a diameter of 30.8 millimeters. Its large size makes it a standout compared to modern-day pennies, and its distinctive dark tone from the copper and the bronze gives it a classic vintage look. Interestingly, 1946 was the second last year of penny production before a gap in the coin's minting history. No pennies were struck between 1947 and 1949 due to post-war metal shortages and other economic factors. This makes the 1946 penny more significant, though it is not particularly rare. Millions of them were produced at the Royal Mint. Now let's talk about what this coin is worth today. For collectors, the value of the 1946 UK 1 penny depends largely on its condition. 1948 UK 1 penny. The 1948 UK 1 penny was minted during the reign of King George VI. George VI ascended to the throne in 1936 after the abdication of his brother Edward VIII. By the time this penny was minted, the United Kingdom was in the post-World War II period, a time of rebuilding and change. The economy was recovering, and coins like the 1 penny were essential for everyday transactions. Now let's take a look at the design of the 1948 1 penny. On the obverse, we have a portrait of King George VI, designed by Thomas Humphrey Paget. You can see the inscription around the portrait, which reads Georgievs Vidgbr Amen. This stands for George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. The reverse of the coin shows Britannia, seated with a trident in one hand and a shield in the other, with the inscription 1 penny above and the year 1948 below. This iconic design had been used on pennies since the late 19th century. Now let's talk mintage. The 1948 UK 1 penny had a relatively high mintage of around 89 million coins. This makes it a fairly common coin compared to others from the era. However, its value can still vary depending on its condition, with well-preserved examples being more desirable for collectors. The value of a 1948 1 penny heavily depends on its condition. Collectors use a grading scale to determine the condition of a coin, ranging from good G fine F, very fine VF, to extremely fine EF and uncirculated UNC. Coins in lower grades will have more wear and less detail, while those in higher grades will be sharper and more detailed. So, how much is a 1948 UK 1 penny worth today? In lower grades, you can expect to pay around PS 0.50 to PS 1, making it an affordable addition to any collection. However, if you have a penny in extremely fine EF or uncirculated UNC condition, prices can jump to PS 1.0 or even up to PS 2.5 depending on the market and demand. Rare mint era pennies can fetch even higher prices, so always check your coins carefully. 1939 UK 1 penny. The year 1939 is etched in history as the beginning of World War II. While Europe was plunged into turmoil, Britain's currency maintained its design continuity. The 1 penny coin issued that year carries both historical significance and design heritage, and today we'll uncover all the details. First, a bit of context. The 1939 penny was minted during the reign of King George VI. King George had ascended to the throne just a few years earlier in 1936, following the abdication of his brother, Edward VIII. By 1939, Britain was preparing for war, and the need for coins in circulation remained high. On the obverse, we see the portrait of King George VI, designed by Humphrey Paget. The inscription reads Georgives Vidgbro men, meaning George VI, by the grace of God, King of all the Britons, defender of the faith, Emperor of India. This title reflects Britain's global influence at the time. Now let's flip to the reverse of the coin. Here we have the iconic figure of Britannia, the symbol of British strength and pride. She's seated, holding a trident in her right hand and a shield bearing the Union Jack in her left. The denomination 1 penny is written below, and the date 1939 is inscribed at the bottom. The reverse design is a continuation of a pattern introduced on pennies in 1860 during the reign of Queen Victoria, and it remained largely unchanged for decades, embodying a sense of continuity in British coinage. The 1939 penny is composed of 95.5% copper, with small amounts of tin and zinc, making it a true copper coin, unlike modern pennies, which contain much less copper. It weighs approximately 9.4 grams and has a diameter of 30.8 millimeters, making it larger than today's pennies. Because of its size, the 1939 penny is often referred to as a large penny, and it feels more substantial in hand compared to modern coinage. In 1939, around 120 million pennies were minted. There are no major variations or mint errors known for this year, but the coin is notable because it was one of the last large pennies minted before the war effort impacted coin production in the UK.